Hi, and welcome back to Temple Baptist Church Online Devotion. I'm glad that you're with me today, and I'm continuing my study through the meaning of Christmas, why we celebrate Christmas, why we need Christmas. And today we find ourselves with looking at the sacrifice that was needed for us. And we find ourselves in Hebrews chapter 10, and we're going to begin in verse 8 and work our way down through verse 14. Man, because of their sin, has always needed a sacrifice which could atone for mankind's sin once and for all, and could atone eternally for the sin of mankind. And so we understand that Jesus was sent. We celebrate his birth, his coming, on December the 25th. We call that Christmas Day. But we need to understand all of the reasoning behind why that was necessary. And it was necessary because the sacrifice was demanded by God for the atonement of man's sin. It says here in Hebrews chapter 10, previously saying, this is in verse 8, sacrifice and offering, burnt offerings, and offerings for sin you did not desire, nor had pleasure in them, which are offered according to the law. But he said, God said, behold, I have come to do your will, O God. He takes away the first, that he may establish the second. By that will, we have been sanctified through the offering of the body of Jesus Christ once for all. And then in verse 11 it says, and every priest stands ministering daily and offering repeatedly the same sacrifices which can never take away sins. But this man, Jesus, after he had offered one sacrifice for sins forever, sat down at the right hand of God, from that time waiting till his enemies are made his footstool. For by one offering he had perfected forever those who are being sanctified, those who are being set apart. And that set apartness comes because of their faith in Jesus Christ. And so Christmas can never be separated from the gospel. And the gospel is that our sin has been covered by the blood of God. That Jesus stepped out of heaven and he came to earth and he took on the flesh and bones of man so that he could, being born as a babe and laid in the manger, someday grow into that man that would take the sins of the world, be the sacrifice that was needed before a holy Father to atone for the sins of men. And so our sin has been covered by the blood of God when we have placed our faith in Jesus as our Savior. His grace to give us faith, resulting in our salvation, not a temporary salvation as they once had when they would offer the blood of sheep and calves and goats, but a permanent salvation through Jesus Christ. Mary, and we know the story, knew that Jesus would be the Savior for his people. We, having the story and having read it over and over and over again, we should take it to heart that all that God had planned to do before the foundation of the world, he has accomplished for us. The sacrifice which was needed has been met, and today we do not have to try to sacrifice on our own. We simply need to put our faith in Jesus Christ. And I hope that you have put your faith in Jesus Christ. I hope that you know him as your Lord and as your Savior. And I hope that you have a church home, that you are able to grow in your faith and your understanding of him, becoming deeper involved in what God is doing in your life. Here at Temple Baptist Church, we meet on Sundays at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., and 6 p.m., on Wednesdays at 7, And if you don't have a church home to call your own, please come and join us here at Temple. Now, we hope that you'll like and share our videos. We hope that you'll as well come and join us for our candlelight service on the 24th, Wednesday night, the 24th of December. Come early for cocoa and cookies, and then stay for the candlelight service, which will begin at 7 p.m. God bless you. Return again next time as we continue our study in the reason behind Christmas. I'll see you then.